welcome to InCharge, where you'll get the news from the source. From those in charge in their organizations, leaders from different industries who are making an impact in the society today. I'm Nicole Cordoves, your host. Today we have with us Chair Emilio Benito Aquino, in charge of the SEC. Chair Emil Aquino, can you take us through, upon entering SEC, and then looking at their roadmap, their plans, the current state, what were the first things in your mind na these are the things I want to prioritize to fix?
In my case, because I'm a returnee, I've been with the SEC for 12 years before I left it. I came back like in 2016. So when I came back, more or less, I was carrying with me 12 years of experience in the different departments of the commission. So, of course, the first thing you do when you are appointed as chairperson is to come up with a vision, your vision, 7-year roadmap covering my term. So that's exactly what we did. That's the first order of the day, so we will know how to proceed. So we came up and crafted the Supervision 2025.
Supervision.
Yes, supervision. Okay, because according to that book of Jim Collins, Good to Great, you have to come up with a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does the Supervision 2025 says? Although we already moved it to 2028. Well, more or less the SEC, of course, with its team of professionals, equipped with digital technology and automated processes, we will be the premier investor champion and catalyst of a deep, broadened, informed capital market and empowered business sector, and among the best in the Asian region. Yeah, that's what we aim.
Sir, you mentioned that you are a returnee nga.
Yes.
Upon leaving yung first post, ending that,
Yes.
and then coming back,
Yes.
anong na-envision mo for yourself na I'll become this leader naman this time? Is there such a moment like that ba?
Before I left, we have some friends who told me, it has been my prayer that you will someday be appointed as a commissioner, then later chairman. And it came true. After 2004 to 2016, it's about 12 years. Yeah, in 12 years it happened. Then later, 2018, I became chair. So it's answered prayer. Yeah.
Sir, did you do in preparation for that? Kasi I see you as a very visionary man, di ba? So, what do you do to, yung sa downtime mo, how do you re-envision it and then enter the job with a new leadership?
Of course. What's important, of course, is that you start with your strength. You know yourself. So I have always been an enforcement guy. Now, my training and orientation has been enforcement. So, there are 4 regulatory objectives for the SEC, that being financial stability, financial inclusion, financial integrity, and customer protection. So it revolves on SEC being an investor champion. So we have to protect our investors. So with that orientation in mind and that regulatory objective, we strengthened the enforcement department. When I was still a commissioner, I supervised our enforcement department, making sure that, the markets, we don't have bad actors. The only way to push for an orderly, transparent capital market is to ensure that the players, the participants, are behaving. So that's where we go. And as much as possible, we adopted the full disclosure regime. So long as you disclose all the material information that would guide the investor in coming up with a reasonable or prudent decision, then it's up to them, and we have to the other safeguard is that we make sure that all these, disclosure of material information are there. Now, if they fail, we come in, we close them down, we jail them even. Yes.
Pero sir, what would you say right now is the biggest challenge of the SEC?
Well, We are a big proponent. We invested heavily in digital transformation. And we have done so much. Now, the problem with technology is it's like fire. It can burn your house, but it can cook your food, depending on who's using the technology. We leverage on digital technology so much. Unfortunately, there are unscrupulous people who are taking advantage of this technology and use it for the wrong purpose, and it's scamming people. That to me is the biggest challenge, especially ngayon. There's such thing as mga deepfakes. And probably we can see you talking and soliciting investments with your voice, but it's all deepfake.
Right.
Yeah. How do you discern that that's such a deepfake? You simply have to follow the money. Everything there is a fake. All the information given, you're distracted by that. No, we take them out. You simply have to find out. Because the only way to scam people is where to send the money.
Yes.
And we have to plug that hole. So, but then, in the meantime, our kababayans, our OFWs, who sends over billions of remittances, end up, investing. You try to imagine, like, I think Miss Salvi Duplito, one of the anti-scammer and broadcaster, she ended up soliciting investment for a Tesla code or something, or even being endorsed by no less than the governor of the Banco Central, or even SEC. But these are all fake.
Yeah.
Or somebody pretending to say, I can offer you loan. I am one of those, let's say, a specific company na legit naman, but the ones talking to you are completely different set of people. They're plain scammers. So you end up sending money. Umuutang na nga because you need the money, but you end up borrowing so that you'll have to pay the processing fees. It turns out to be an advance payment scam.
Yeah.
So once you start sending a lot of money, they simply pull the wrap, and then your money disappears. That to me is the challenge. That's why what we are trying to do is to make sure that we make use also of social media. That's where the scams are being done. To make the same medium or media to be able to reach out to our kababayans, especially our OFWs, who are vulnerable and have the money to invest.
Right.
So that to me is the biggest challenge for us.
Pero sir, you did describe it as a fire nga that could either work for you or against you.
Yes.
And we have heard how it could work against you.
Yes.
But can you assure our viewers naman,
Yes.
like, why should we still push for digitalization despite these fears?
Well, digitalization, as I always tell them, is something which we cannot afford not to have. To stay in the race, you have to embrace technology. The last time when we were awarded by the Corporate Registers Forum in Malta, we had a head start because we started digitalizing during the pandemic. We actually made use of the pandemic because people would not like to go out. So we were able to push our online company registration at the time. Kasi dati, gusto nila manual. They prefer, it's better manual, IBM lang tayo. But no, we said. But because they were forced to go, they have to have this lockdown. They cannot leave. And in that same manner, our people don't want to see them. But we made use of online. That's why we were able to push our digitalization at time. So, yun. While it may be true, there are downsides to it, but we have seen our neighbors, our counterparts in other jurisdictions, especially in Europe, they have all digitalized. Had we probably missed and slept for a year or two, we would have been a laggard.
Yeah.
So what's good for us is we push for the transformation, digital transformation, and ended up among those recognized with one of the best online registration. Yes.
Sir, the biggest goal right now of the SEC,
The
biggest
biggest
goal.
The biggest goal, of course, we're still pushing for sustainability as a route towards investment growth. Of late, you would note that all these things happening now, all the big typhoons and all, it's been killing people. Even. Now, and companies, they incorporate in their business, and they don't care, whether they're more focused on the profit objective nila, bottom lines and all. But it's time for us to consider what happens to their people, to the community, course, Mother Earth and all that. So we're pushing for sustainability. And there are trillions of dollars of funds, fund managers outside who are looking for investment outlets, possible investments, placement. And if you are ESG, that's the Environment, Social, and Governance Certified company, they're the ones that they're going to choose where to invest those money. Because you take care of, you consider your people, your good corporate governance, and the environment. So that's how we see it to grow our capital market. And I'm happy to say that in the ASEAN region, we are number 2 in terms of raising funds for green sustainability and social bonds. So second to Thailand. Really? Yes. So to us, that's one of those strategies that we will be able to bring in capital from outside.
Sir, in one word, what would you want your legacy to be sa SEC?
I did a lot actually. So probably saying that it is one of the best, if not the best, in the Southeast Asian region, or even in the world, because actually we got this ISAR honors. That's the International Standards of Accounting and Reporting honors in 2022. Actually, our second award, which is given by UNCTAD, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So I had to fly to Geneva, Switzerland, to get that award at the UN Palace of Nations. It turned out that we were on top of the heap. Yeah, over all the from the different economies and jurisdictions, we were number 1, and we shared the stage with in the international category with the likes of World Bank, IFC, UN Global Compact, and even the World Economic Forum. Try to imagine you're there, and you're supposed to be number 1, and that to me was something. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, and congratulations with all your achievements. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.